Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking all things September. Fails, favorites, self-tanners, skincare, lash growth serums, you name it. We've got a wide variety of products in this video, so let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, first fail of the month is the only non-drugstore product I'm going to include in this video, just because I've talked a lot about tubing mascaras here on my channel, so I wanted to update you guys on the Tarte tubing mascara because I did try this and compared it to all of the other tubing mascaras that I have tried. And I first applied it, it reminded me of my beloved Milani Anti-Gravity. This makes your eyelashes look insane, like out of this world, very, very lengthening. So I thought I was really gonna love it because the way it applies is beautiful. However, I've tried this several times now. I've tried it on a regular day, I tried it at Dollywood, tried it at a Braves game, I've tried it on date night. And every single time in all different scenarios, I have ended up with serious raccoon eye, worse than any non-tubing mascara usually transfers on me. So even though this looks so beautiful when you first apply it, it's just not a good tubing mascara in my opinion. All right, next up is an eyelash serum. I don't remember how much I've talked about this on my channel so far. I think I talked about it when it was a brand new product and I said I would report back. And it is the Ordinary Multi-Peptide Lash Serum. You can also use this on your brows. It's called the Lash and Brow Serum. This retails for $14, so it's significantly more affordable than your typical lash growth serums like Grande Lash. This is unique in that it doesn't contain ICP, which is the active ingredient in a lot of other lash serum products. And it's a pretty strong active ingredient, but it's not FDA approved, so it's kind of used at your own risk. I would say Latisse is the only FDA approved lash serum. This instead relies on biotin, hyaluronic acid, and mostly peptides for the formula to work. I used this for 6 weeks. I made a TikTok showing close-up of my lashes over the course of the 6 weeks, and I will see if I can find the picture and insert it here so you can kind of see the very slow progression over 6 weeks. And I wasn't really seeing a whole lot of difference. I kept sharing it on Instagram every week, and I wasn't seeing a huge difference in my lashes, but a lot of people were commenting in that they didn't see a difference really in the length of my lashes, but more of the thickness. This is an extremely slow burn type of product. I almost stopped using it so many times because I just wasn't seeing the immediate results I wanted to see. But after about 6 or 7 weeks, I was really noticing when I put my mascara on, it was looking really good. And I was like, is this mascara or is this my lashes? And I was using mascaras I've used plenty of times in the past and everything was just looking better. My lashes were looking fuller, but I still didn't really attribute it to this. We went on a vacation and I left this at home, and then after that I just fell off the wagon and stopped using it completely for 2 or 3 weeks. And it was then that I really realized what a difference it was making when I stopped using it. The mascaras didn't look as good, so I'm back to using this now that I have seen the light. Even though it's not like, you know, this overnight, your lashes are incredible. It's a slow burn. You gotta be really consistent. You gotta be really patient. You'll slowly but surely see the results with this. It's affordable. It's got a more simplified ingredient list and it works for me. All right, next up is a beauty sponge from Honest Beauty. It's black, which is nice because it kind of hides the makeup, but it's also not as nice because then you kind of forget to clean it or you think it's cleaner than it actually is. But the color didn't really bother me. It was the performance of this sponge. I really dislike this sponge. It's very hard, and no matter how wet you get it, it just feels super hard. And I feel like it soaks up a ton of product. Kind of a beauty sponge connoisseur, so I've been around the block in beauty sponges, and this is one of the worst ones that I've tried, unfortunately. All right, next up is something I got a lot of questions in my video that I posted last week, was what lashes are you wearing? And I have been wearing some lashes every now and then. Ever since I stopped using the lash serum, I'm like feeling the need to, because I got used to my lashes looking a lot better. And then when I stopped it, I was like, wait a minute, I don't like how this looks. So while I'm waiting for the serum to kick back in, I've been wearing a little bit of lashes. Right now I'm wearing a half of a strip of the Ardell Demi Wispies, and I don't like how this looks as much as I like what I'm about to share with you. And the reason I didn't use them is because I'm out of them. I don't have enough to create a look for today. But it's the Ardell Lash Trios. But I love these in place of actual strip lashes because I find them to be a lot easier to apply, a lot more comfortable to wear, and a lot more natural looking. The way that I personally use them is I take these bottom 2 rows are medium, the top 2 rows are short. So what I typically do is right kind of in the center of my lash line, I'll put a short one, and then I'll place 2 mediums, kind of space them out a little bit to where it really blends in with the rest of my lashes on both sides. So it's just 3 little trio lashes. You can space them out and place them however you want depending on the thickness of your lashes and where you have thicker lashes, where you have more sparse areas. So I find it to be a lot more natural looking than like this strip lash right here, which I feel like looks like I'm wearing a strip lash. If you don't like the feel of strip lashes, but you want the look of having fuller lashes, this is a really, really great one to try. Even if you just start with using a few of the short ones, that's still gonna make a difference in the thickness of your lash line. Sometimes, like in the center, if I feel like there's too much of a fall off from where the center lash is placed in my natural lashes, I'll kind of trim the lashes a little bit and make it come up at more of an angle so it blends better. There's just a lot more flexibility with these lashes than there is with a strip. All right, next up is a concealer that I can't remember if I've tried this in the past or not. This was sent to me and I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna give this one another try. And it's the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Concealer. First applied it, I liked the way that it looked, but I felt like throughout the day, it started getting worse and worse. It looked really nice and hydrated at the beginning of the day, but then as the day went on, it started looking a little bit crusty, a little bit crepey under my eyes. I thought maybe it was just the powder I was using, but I kept trying it, and unfortunately that continued to happen to me. So maybe this would work for really like oily under eyes, but for my normal to dry under eye area, this just was not it for me. All right, next up, we can classify this as a product I've changed my mind about. I tried these a while ago and I was not impressed. It did not work for me, and then I wrote them off until I've been struggling with breakouts again as my skin is adjusting to this Arazlo cream I've been using. And they are the Hero Mighty Patches. So I have this pack which comes with both day and night patches. And the way that I was using them previously, which is why they didn't work for me, is when I was getting like a cystic breakout, just like a painful red big bump. It's not really gonna work on that kind. You can try it, but it didn't work for me. This is mostly gonna work on the more surface level whitehead type of breakout. I know we all know you're not supposed to pop your pimples. It can lead to tissue damage, it can lead to hyperpigmentation, all kinds of issues. But it's really hard to just stare at a whitehead and not do anything. So this is the kind of solution to that. They have clear patches for during the day. They have nude colored ones for overnight. I've only ever used them overnight and it's pretty amazing. This is what they look like. They're just little circle patches. And the way that you use it is before you go to bed, you want to put it on completely clean skin. That was another mistake I was making, is I think I had a little bit of moisturizer on, so it wasn't really adhering to the blemish like it should. But you want to apply it to freshly cleaned skin right over the blemish, like as if you're putting a sticker right on top of it. Keep it on overnight, maybe 8 hours, and then in the morning you'll notice that there's, it's kind of gross, but there's like the white stuff on the actual patch, and then you peel it off. The whitehead has been dissolved. It feels like a flat pimple and you never had to pick it. It heals a lot faster and you don't deal with that tissue damage from popping it or as much hyperpigmentation as you would handling it a different way. Next up is a self-tanner. I love a good self-tanner and I like to try different ones. I'm kind of stuck in my ways. I love the Cocoa and Eve one and I love the Tanologist Extra Dark. Those are my 2 favorite self-tanners and I have tried them all. But I kept getting recommendations to try this one. This is the B-Tan 2 Tan to Give a Damn. You can find this, I think I found this at my Kroger. This is at Walmart. Very, very affordable self-tanner, so I was really hoping for it to work. This is the shade Insanely Dark 1 Hour Self-Tan. I don't care how long a self-tan tells me to leave it on. I leave it on for a lot longer because I like a nice deep tan, so I think I left this on for 6 or 7 hours. This is the shade Insanely Dark, so there's only one more level after this one, and I just did not look very tan at all. Like, I maybe looked like I had a little bit of a glow, but this is called Insanely Dark and it was nowhere near my Tanologist Extra Dark or my Cocoa and Eve Ultra Dark. It just did not even compare. To the color guard on this, which is the color of the product that comes out on your skin so you can see where you've applied it as the tan is processing, and then when the tan is done processing, so for me after 6 hours, I went and rinsed the color guard off. But while I was waiting for the tan to develop with my Tanologist one, with my Cocoa and Eve one, the color guard is a really nice tan color, so I can go run errands, do things with the color guard on. It just looks like I have a tan. With this one, it was a very, very green color. It was like a green tan. I looked ill. I looked like I was in a Halloween costume. So I didn't feel like I could do anything or go anywhere while this was processing because I genuinely looked ill. And that's a big no-go for me because I don't want to just be like sitting in my house for 6 hours waiting for a tan to develop. All right, next up is a cleansing balm that you can get on Amazon that I have fallen in love with. This one and the e.l.f. Holy Hydration are my two favorites, but this is the Juno Skin Clean 10 Cleansing Balm. This is such a good cleansing balm. It removes all of my makeup, including my eye makeup. It does smell kind of strongly like oranges. That is because it has orange peel in it. I do not believe this has any added fragrance to it. So that kind of sets it apart from the e.l.f. Holy Hydration, which does have a little bit of added fragrance. It only has 10 ingredients. The 10 ingredients are listed on the actual box, and it just feels really hydrating and nourishing. It takes off all of my eye makeup, all my base makeup, and it lasts me a really long time because a little bit goes a very long way. The one thing I will say that I think is a little bizarre is on the packaging it says made with love from California. This is a California company, but then on the bottom of the package it says made in China. So I feel like that's a little bit misleading because it kind of makes you think that this is made in California. But other than that, I think this is an incredible product. Highly recommend it if you are on the hunt for a new cleansing balm. All right, and then last but not least is another product that has been making doing a winged liner so easy. It's the Maybelline HyperEasy eyeliner. I have mine in the shade Pitch Brown, which looks more like a black eyeliner. But it has the tiniest little tip to it, and it just makes getting that precise wing incredibly easy. I'll show you guys what the color looks like. It's a really dark brown. If you struggle with creating a nice sharp wing, it just does the work for you. I've never had an easier time other than the Physicians Formula Eye Booster. I've never had an easier time doing a winged liner than I have with this one. It is just so precise, so pigmented, and the tip on it is super sharp. So highly recommend this for beginners, or even if you aren't a beginner and just love a snatched wing, as the kids say. This is a great option. That is gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you've been loving this month or not loving so much this month. Don't forget to subscribe while you're here, and I will see you in my next one.